This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
On the Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC. Heading to Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From city view lofts, high-rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity. It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hello, you're on the dot. Good afternoon from Las Vegas.
It's 2 dot.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hope you're all doing fine. My name is Dorothy Tom. You can call me Dot.
And I am Mia, Benjamina Casino, license number S0166991.
Someday I'm going to memorize that S0196111. Hi, Mia.
How are you? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everyone.
So we're continuing with our Nowhere to Go But Up series for August.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yes, up for UP. And we wanted to invite everybody to our alumni.
The grand reunion and convention, our conference. This is 100. Oh, no, not 100. This is our 21st. Yeah, 21st grand reunion with the UP Alumni Association in America. And this program.
It's a virtual reunion.
Yes, it's a virtual reunion via VFairs. And just reach out to us if you are interested in attending, and we would very much encourage you to attend if you are a UP alumna and alumni. Yeah, 702-498-6185. Funny because I keep telling my number on air. Nobody calls me, darling. Not even a prankster. Not even maybe one telemarketer a month. Nobody cares about my number. They say you should keep your number private and your email. It's all out there. Nobody calls me. Okay. All right. Nowhere to go but up, Mia. Sige, go.
All right. So last week we were talking about the rising COVID rate. And now our guest is helping it to, well, it's one of them that's minimizing the rates to go up. So we'll talk to her later on. But first, I'd like to share with the audience a trivia about Florence Nightingale. That's where we got our title for this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's Soaring for Up Nightingale.
Woohoo!
Florence Nightingale is the English social reformer, the statistician, and the founder of modern nursing. Nightingale came to the prominence while serving as a manager and trainer of nurses during the Crimean War, in which she organized care for wounded soldiers of Constantinople. I wanted to be a nurse before when I was young.
Oh, yeah?
But then I'm scared of blood.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Then,
It never occurred to me to be in the medical field, because for me it's too much investment in emotions.
Right.
When people getting sick or dying. Yeah.
especially being a nurse.
Right.
you have to have a special caring
Mm-hmm.
ability and to be a nurse.
Yes.
I think more than
Bedside manners.
yeah, patient patient I think is the
Oh,
patient the virtue that the nurses should have. Let's
yes. Okay.
let's ask our guest. Our member highlight. Our member highlight is a registered nurse in California and Louisiana and Nevada for 30 years in the field of education, nursing administration, and case management. A bachelor in science, nursing cum laude from the University of the Philippines, Manila in 19, did I say
I don't know.
19 blank. Master of Science in Nursing, emphasis in, I said that already. Um, Graduated with distinction. I didn't say that yet. Masters of Science in Nursing, emphasis in education, graduated with distinction at the Capella University, Minneapolis, and is a senior quality review nurse of the Optimum Medical Network of Nevada and the current president of the Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada.
Mhm.
And are you paan member highlight Elizabeth De Leon-Gamboa. Miss Gamboa, welcome.
Hi, Dad and Nia. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Miss Lisa, or Beth, or
Liz,
Lisa is fine.
Lisa.
Yes.
Lisa. And she's no stranger to PHLV because she has been on air for so many times, right? Do you have a
um,
show here?
program.
no, I don't. I sometimes co-host and guest. So,
Yes, with Miss Flora, right? Flora Saison. Oh
Flora
no,
and
Doris
Doris,
and
Doris
Doris
Bauer.
Power, Miss
Mhm.
Doris Power. Yes.
Yes.
So last week we are talking about the rising COVID cases. Last night I was also looking at. I said, we're all reporting about the cases, the rising cases, and the
Mhm.
deaths. How about the recovery? Because
Yeah.
recovery is going up, is a moving up, right? Rising from whatever downward, downhill kind of state. So, what are the best news you have about recovery from the COVID cases?
Yeah, definitely the recovery is going up because of the vaccination. So it's really very important to emphasize on COVID vaccinations. And I do encourage all our viewers in our community, and actually the whole world, needs to take advantage because now we have these vaccines. And even when the individuals with vaccinations have been infected, their recovery rate and prognosis is really good.
Very
So,
fast, right? Mhm.
yes, yes.
Right, right.
Um,
So that's good news. That's definitely like we're moving up.
yes,
Even though it sounds very scary, I know a lot of people are scared of the many. I know for now we only have one known variant, the Delta
Yeah.
variant. Who knows? There might be other kinds that will show up in the future. But I like what you're saying that because of the vaccination, we are definitely recovering. People are recovering quite fast. Yeah.
yes. And also the severity of the symptoms, is not, it is actually, when you compare it to those who were not vaccinated, it's really promising. They don't get hospitalized, they don't get intubated. And, the mortality rate actually has gone down because of the vaccination.
Okay.
Definitely.
So you've come this far, Miss Lisa, from the Philippines to Las Vegas, Viva.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what are the challenges you have met so far that you know? Let me just start small. Okay, start small. From being a student in UP
Mhm.
and moving the next ladder up. and keep moving up, what are your observed challenges internally and externally for you while you were moving up?
For me, it was really a struggle when I had to come here to the United States. I wanted to stay back home, but unfortunately, with a petition and all that, I had to move to the U.S. So that, I was really homesick and adjusting to the new environment, new people. I didn't know anybody except, of course, for my sister, and it was different because when I was trying to apply for jobs, they were all looking for what's your work experience, and everything was from the Philippines. So nobody really wanted to take a chance because I did not have any local experience. And at that time in the early 90s, there were not that many nursing jobs available. So I had to start from being restorative nursing assistant, like a certified nursing assistant, but I was doing more of exercises, feeding patients, making sure that they were nourished, etc. I really missed the manongs in the hospital because I didn't have anybody to help me lift these patients. And at that time, I was still tiny, and I could not lift these patients, and so that was really difficult for me. But eventually, I did have some peers that were willing to help, and I've even encountered patients telling me to go back home because I was really young in my early 20s when I came to the States. They were telling me, just go back home. You don't know anything. I'm like, okay, let me pack up my bags and go back home. So that was one thing. And sometimes it was intimidating to call a physician because I'm asking for a cough medicine. I pronounce it in the Philippines as Robitussin, and the doctor cannot understand. Like, it's the cough medicine, doctor. And he was laughing at me on the phone and said, it's Robitussin. So I'm like,
Robitussin.
Okay, it's the same thing. It's just a different pronunciation.
Robitussin. It never would have occurred to me that it's pronounced like that. Robitussin.
Or penicillin, it's penicillin. So that kind of stuff. So, through the years, of course, I kind of learned, okay, it has to be a long vowel and all that stuff.
Yeah, so that's funny.
Yeah, and then, of course, I was very blessed that I had people, our kababayans, that were willing to help me out. And they've taken me under their wings so I can adjust, because there was a time when I was a new nurse, I would pass medications for 45 patients, and the morning meds were not done yet, and it was time to pass for the noon meds. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? So they had to show me the tricks of the trade.
Oh, so you came here not as the first wave of nurses who migrated to the U.S. for a job. You came here because you were petitioned by your sister?
Yes, petitioned by my dad.
By your dad.
Yeah, so it was more of a family need. So I'm like, okay. So I didn't really have a job waiting for me. I had to start from scratch.
So when I know that's funny because that's part of English as a second language. One of the factors in efficient learning of English as a second language is, of course, acclimatization.
That's a mouthful.
Culturalization. And yes, the words are short vowels from the Philippines, translating them into long vowel sounds. Very challenging, right?
Yes.
Tongue twister, literally tongue twister. And palate twisting and all that. So, I'm, but so you said the challenges would be cultural as well as linguistic, perhaps.
Mhm.
Did it ever occur to you like the word racism at that time? There wasn't such a thing as that, or Asian hate?
It was not termed that way, but when I have patients telling me to go back home because when they see me young and then a different colored skin, and they would tell me you don't know anything, I've associated that with some sort of racism, but not necessarily explicitly stated that way.
Correct. Yeah, that is so true. It's not explicitly stated. It's implied, correct,
It
by there.
is, yes.
Yes. So those are some of your challenges.
Mhm.
How about now? Do you have other challenges now? You're still moving up, aren't you? I mean, you're not stagnant, you're not going down, you're not going sideways.
I think every day I would say is a challenge. We are faced with different how would I say this? Different curveballs that are thrown at us on a daily basis, And at my current work, I'm in some sort of a leadership position. And I was really blessed that during the surge and the uptake of the anti-Asian hate and violence, that I was able to impart to my work environment, our department, what our stand is from PNA, and of course as an Asian American nurse leader. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're carrying as well the entire culture of the Filipino nurse. I mean, so to speak, figuratively speaking, you're carrying all that, being the leader of the Nurses Association. So that's a lot on your back. And if you're soaring high as a nightingale, according to our topic title, soaring high, how do you keep yourself light?
Oh
Because you
boy.
need to, in order to soar, you need to be light, correct? Otherwise, you're gonna fall down.
I can't have things weigh me down. That's the one thing.
There you go. Let's
That's
talk about
really
those
important.
things.
Yeah. So it's very important for me to have this mindset that, I have a vision to create an impact on healthcare as well as my peers and the people that I serve in not only in the community, but also our department at work, as well as my organization. So in order to keep me level-headed, of course, the main important thing is my faith in God, I think, has seen me through all these challenges. And, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's my number one mantra. So no matter what comes my way, oh no, I have to keep going. And then, of course, having that resilience is really important, that if let's say I fall, I just pick up the pieces, dust myself off, and then tomorrow is another day, and then I just keep on going. I think with that mindset, having that, it was very difficult to kind of learn that through the years, but now I just keep on keeping on.
Keeping on.
Yes, definitely. And then definitely when you have that integrity, and if you made a mistake, if I make a mistake, rather, I just fess up to it and say, okay, tao lang po. I make mistakes, and then let's get on and do something different to correct the mistake. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and then of course I'm so thankful I have my support system, my
There.
immediate
Yeah.
family and
Uh-huh.
my sisters, and then of course I have my peers that I can confide in, and seek assistance, and then they tell me off, Lisa, you did wrong here. Okay. Then of course I have to regroup and correct that mistake.
Okay, that's very important. I like that when people correct me. I used to be very resistant at people correcting me because I took that personally as being, imperfect. Because I have this huge idea that I have to be perfect. My task, my end results have to be perfect. But then I learned from coaching that it's okay to make mistakes while growing up. So we're still growing up. Are you okay to being corrected, Mia?
Oh yeah, definitely. Nobody's perfect, as they say.
Well, I'm perfect.
I'm perfectly imperfect.
I'm perfectly human.
Yes.
That's what I say. I'm perfectly human. So, how do you like to be corrected, Mia?
Um, Tactfully. At least be tact when you're correcting me. Don't be rude. Just, say your point and I'll listen. I always
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Miss Lisa? How do you want to be corrected?
Well, definitely. When I get corrected, it has to come from a viewpoint, and it should be out of love that
Mhm.
they're correcting me instead of like intimidating me or shaming me. It has to come from that point of view of having, I'm doing this because of love,
Hmm.
because I want you to improve,
So what do you
not
do if
berating me.
a person corrects you from the point of view of dominance and power and looking down on you? How do you react to that?
Well, way back when, I used to just charge, and because I always wanted to win the battle and always be right. But through the years, I have learned that it just caused me stress, and now I'm on 3 blood pressure medications because of that. But now, since I cannot change how they act,
Yes.
but I can change my own thinking, and I can, which affects how I feel and how I act. Then I just regroup and, say, okay, wait a minute, what's the real issue here? So I just kind of pull back and then recharge and then approach it in a positive way. And of course, learning to use that I statement instead of you, that
Hmm.
kind of helped me.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Because our topic is soaring high, right? Soaring Nightingale. So you being in the nursing industry or healthcare, no? So when a person is on his or her way up, there will always be other people who will try to pull you down. So, but you said earlier, Miss Lisa, that you keep your eyes focused on your goal, and that's where you are directing your entire system towards that goal.
Mhm.
And in the process of getting there towards that goal, that's what we call, say, soaring up, okay, or moving
Mhm.
up. So people try to pull you down, maybe unconsciously, subconsciously,
Mhm.
inadvertently. They don't know what they're doing, and if you take it personally, then you will say that, oh, she doesn't want me to succeed. So when you said that you want to be corrected or steered towards the right direction in a loving way, but some people are not loving and some people are rude. Like Mia said, she wants to be corrected in a tactful and factual way. Then that is already one way of letting go of the weight.
Mhm.
When you said earlier, you you need to take care of yourself. You need to focus. And it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. I like that. Very, very apt for what we're doing. How about when you correct someone? Now you're a leader now and you're correcting some people, right? Because on your way up, you're not just going up all by yourself. We take everyone with us, correct? A world that works where nobody is left behind. So how do you correct people, especially those with you, your team?
Yes. So, in the context of my work, because I do a lot of reviews and quality auditing. So, when I see errors like in their charting or communication with the physicians, how they handled the case management portion, and then somebody, when a patient gets readmitted, of course, that's something that needs to be discussed. And in that manner, I have to pull aside whoever has committed that error and not make it an issue as you made a mistake, but rather, what is the process that's lacking here? Where did we go wrong in that process? Because maybe it's not the person that has an issue, but rather the process or the system that has failed in that sense. So I have to analyze first where the fault lies, and then even if it was the team member that made a mistake, then I just say, okay, what is the process? How come this was not followed? What can we do better the next time? And then I would be able to get that buy-in from that team member. So then the next time it does not happen again, because then she would know what is the expectation, what is the system or the process that should be followed, what was the error, and then what can be done to make sure it does not happen again.
I love the key word there for me that stood out is we, not you, not just you. What did you do wrong? I love that you bring yourself in as a responsible person, as a responsible leader, accountable for that. So what did we do wrong, or how did we misinterpret the system? I love that. Well, of course, people make mistakes, right? I mean,
yes.
Of course, definitely. You did this wrong. Of course, you wrote the wrong thing or an erroneous input. But as a leader, to just say we, that is so very powerful. Is that how you correct people, to Mia?
Well, I do a lot of psychologizing. I mean, I do a lot of, because I deal with clients. So I have
How
to
do you do that?
be careful about how I correct them. So it depends on who I'm talking to and how I deal with them. So in correction.
Yeah, yes. But you don't finger point or shame or yeah.
Definitely. No.
I wonder how we are with our children,
Oh.
our family members. Do we treat them as the same way, with the same professionalism as we do our clients and our team members? We'll be back. We'll take a short break. And we'll be right back with answers to the questions. So take it away, Kuya Yo. A word from our sponsor.
Heading to Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From City View Lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity.
We're back, and on the dot, we're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about so many things.
Family.
You missed all that, just click replay.
about how we treat our families differently from others.
Yeah, go ahead, Mia. Do it first. Answer
With me,
first. Mhm.
I think I'm more of how should I say, authoritative with my kids because they have to listen to me. So they don't have a choice. Nah, not really. But no, it's kind of different. You're more yourself at home. So it's very different.
Yeah, there's no professionalism, professional coat to wear when you're at home. You're
Yeah.
mother, you're woman, you're human without any
Yeah.
filter. How about you, Miss Lisa?
Well, actually, for me, I would say it's mixed because, like with my kids, I try to be gentle as much as I can. But of course, after the second or the third attempt, that's when the voice goes up, my pitch kind of rises, and they know what I mean business. And then my husband, on the other hand, like I could just be myself. And sometimes the irritability comes out, and he always says, how come with other people you're so nice when they ask questions or when you're correcting them? But for me, you just snap like so. And I feel so guilty for doing that. But I just feel like I can be just myself, when I'm in front of him. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's something I need to work on.
Mine is the reverse because I tended to be very strict with my children when they were very young. But it's a good thing I learned like when they were in middle school, past 12 years old or 10 years old. I learned to correct myself because of the Montessori and the Waldorf education and me being a Montessori teacher. So it became more fun, more humorous, more playful, and of course, I'd be angry. But I learned to apply that kind of humor externally. So instead of me being professional out there and treating them here at home like a profession, like my profession, it's the reverse. I become more playful with them because that's what I learned from the home. I became funnier and less strict outside because I became less strict at home. So it's nice that we have different approaches to how do you call that relationships, interpersonal relationships. So I don't know. I have never been in a strictly professional context like you are, is Lisa, where the profession involves life or death. Mine would have been life or death of the self-esteem of the child, not necessarily the physical body. So we were very careful with the way we talk to people. So that's my experience in this. So are you living the kind of life you have always wanted to live, Lisa?
Wow. Maybe not exactly how I would have envisioned my life to be. Actually, I was dreaming of becoming a lawyer, but then was told to shift to nursing because I was moving to the States. So, however, as a nurse, I've loved to be a nurse. And of course, what we do in our daily lives as nurses, I think that's something very valuable, not only to the profession, but to the community as well. So, with that being said, the best is yet to come because there's still that option to go back to school. Who knows, right?
Yes.
I might still go back to school and be a lawyer, or just continue and pursue my nursing career advancement. So,
But being a nurse, there's a lot of legal things that you're doing.
yes,
So
actually,
many legalities there.
yep, yep. And right now, though, my role as a senior clinical quality review nurse, I'm dealing with a lot of regulations and standards from CMS and NCQA. So partly, that satisfaction of going into the laws, arguing them, and debating with people, why is this meeting the standard or not, whatever, that kind of fulfills that side of me.
That's good. See? Yeah. How about you, Mia? Are you living the life you've always envisioned?
I didn't envision it, but I am happy where I am.
Or is it better than you expected?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Is it better than you expected too, Lisa?
Would say so because right now, from the perspective of the financial end, I would say I'm living comfortably right now with my family as a nurse. Uh, you know, I would say a lot better when I was back home, that I had to depend on my mom to augment my salary as a nurse. So, yeah, definitely in that way.
Mhm. What would your what would your let's say advice, let's say wise words or words from experience, what would they be given to you were to give them to let's say a nurse wanting to go to the US or a young person wanting to be a nurse, like like powerful wisdom.
The main thing that I would say is that be true to yourself and set your goals. And of course, make sure that that goal has a target date, and make sure to accept whatever limitations that you have, because we're all not perfect, as what we have discussed earlier. We may have learning needs, we may have adaptation needs, whatnot, but just accepting that, and then learning to reach out and seek assistance, because seeking help is not a sign of weakness, rather it's strength, because now people would be able to pour out and be able to help you reach those goals that you've set for yourself.
Mhm.
But and then of course, having faith in God, it's something that I cling on to. And definitely when you have him on your side, you can't go wrong.
Mm. So set goals, have a date or a timeline perhaps, and ask for help and faith in God, especially in times like these, right? Do you think that the nurses today are
Yeah.
more challenged than the nurses in the past, say 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yes, I believe so, because none of us have been prepared for this pandemic.
Mm.
All the things that we used to take for granted, uh, socializing with our friends, even just going to the grocery store. Now you have all these restrictions. As part of our training for our kids here in our home, that whenever you go out, make sure to take a shower or whatever, yeah, because you don't know what germs you got outside. But now it's for real. You tend to think, oh, do I shake somebody's hand? Do I hug somebody? All those little things, that common people have now to be conscious about. What more for healthcare workers? Way back
Yes.
when we had the HIV, when we
Mhm.
first learned it, everybody was like, I don't want to be floated in that unit. Everybody was scared. And then now here with COVID, you don't know who has COVID or not. So people may be carriers out there, and infecting people. So as healthcare workers, and having to be faced with all this surge and uptick every so often, and all these waves, it's very taxing to nurses and the whole healthcare force. So
Yeah, it's like walking into a landmine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
every day, every moment, right?
definitely. Yeah.
And so you're equipping yourself with the only, I don't know, shield that
Protects.
transcends human whatsoever, human and non-human uh, attacks, so to speak. That would be your faith in God. That's the only, I don't know. I have no
Ar-
other.
the armor.
Your armor, yes. I have
Yeah.
no other. I can't think of anything more powerful than that. That's the only way I can think of. How
Yeah.
about Mia? How does COVID affect your industry as well?
Um, Definitely it affected the way we show homes. We have protocols now. We just can't hold open houses, openly. We have to have a system for it. And then even the way we do showings, we have social distancing,
Mm.
and we have virtual showings now. So
Oh,
yeah, it affected the whole industry.
so many changes now. We are in unprecedented times. I mean, how many
Mm.
times have we used that word? So there's so many changes going on, and not even predictable changes. Some changes are predictable, like when the fever reaches this stage, this number, then this next thing is going to happen most likely. But with this situation, nobody really knows what's happening next.
Yeah.
And um, the other factor that I want to ask you guys is so everything's rising up. COVID is rising up. You as nurses, your level of your delivery, your service going up as well. Your skills, you're fortifying yourselves, you're increasing your skills and abilities and learnings. No, what about, okay, this might be sensitive. What about compensation for yourselves for all the efforts that you're doing? Are houses being sold at a higher rate, price? Are you earning more? Are you earning less? The money, is money going up as well? I know prices are going up everywhere.
Right. I think during at this time it's not because of COVID. It's because of well, in Nevada it's because of the influx of the California buyers. But during the time of COVID, it slowed down. It affected our industry because people are scared to look at homes. So at that time, the height of COVID, when it was initially last year, it definitely had affected the industry, the real estate industry. But now it's back up in Nevada because of our California buyers, and the prices are going up.
So when the
Businesses,
when the prices are going up, does that mean good for you as a
um,
seller?
economy.
Pardon me?
It's good for the economy.
It's good for the economy, right? Correct. No, I'm not. I'm not having any divisive idea about money here, because when I say, oh, sure, the price of the tomato has gone up, for example. So because it goes without saying that when the economy is up, then most likely things are going up. Plus the threat of the virus, right? So not this is something that one day we should talk about, me money. It's such a juicy topic. Money. What about nurses? Do you feel you're compensated well? Just you don't have to implicate yourself or the industry with your answer. The safest answer you can give.
Well, I would say that the compensation for nursing, of course, it does go up, and if you advance your career and then you have more training, of course, there's a commensurate increase
Mhm.
in your salary. However, when you look at the nursing salary compared to the other healthcare professionals. Let's say the therapist, speech therapy, physical therapy, or occupational therapy. Then you have all the others. It may not necessarily be comparable to their wages. So that's something that, can be worked on from the lobbyist side to improve that. But that's another topic for another day.
Yes, but it's also good to be looking at these things because nowhere to go but up, right?
Yeah, yeah. And because
Yes, Mia.
when you delve into it, really, why is it so that there's that disparity or difference, a large scale difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mia, you're what?
I've always wondered. I have nurse friends, and I have clients also who are nurses, and they work long hours. Like they work 16 hours, like 3 consecutive days, and then work for a few days off. How do you do that? I really.
Yeah, that's the thing though, because some facilities or hospitals offer 12-hour shifts. Some others, they do 8-hour shifts, but then a lot of the nurses, so that then they can afford whatever needs that they need to finance. They work 12 hours and then try to, 16 hours, 8 plus 8. And so then they can be off for more days to spend time with their families. To be honest with you, when I was working on the floor, it was really taxing on the body. My whole body was hurting after 3 or 4 12-hour shifts, and it would take me a day to recuperate basically, and then enjoy the other 2. So
Yeah, of course, by the 14th hour, you're like down already. How can you perform? Your performance level is really low already.
Yes. So sometimes it's a trade-off,
Right.
and others, they work Monday to Friday, 8 hours. So it's a matter of choice and a matter of need. Why people choose whatever schedules they want to have.
It's amazing. It amazes me sometimes. How they
Yes.
work that long hours, right?
Yeah.
I know. That's why I have so much respect
Yeah.
for you guys, for doctors and nurses and people in the healthcare industry. I can't even name the rest of them, the different jobs involved in the healthcare, because one, I don't go to doctors. I don't go to the hospitals. I mean, my closest experience with the hospital was giving birth to my son that was 22 years ago, and removing my dad from the hospital. What is the word? Discharge, him being discharged because the hospital couldn't take care of him anymore. He had a total global permanent brain damage from his from being in coma. So I know what an orderly is. I know what a nurse is. I know what a doctor, a physical therapist, but an X-ray technician. What else? What else do you have there?
There are social workers, a lab. They have also the dietitian, the certified nurse's aide, respiratory therapist. All these.
Wow.
There's I believe at the burn care they even have I forgot the name, but more of like for children, like a social worker type, but they specialize, child life specialist, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on what type of unit they would have various roles or various healthcare workers.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So soaring up in that industry really means bringing everyone up with you as you heal yourself, as you heal your mind, in your wellness, in the healthy state of your mind, your brain, and your heart. You offer wellness to your clients, to your patients. So I really give a heart. I really give a heart to to you in the industry. That is so amazing, and I don't know what else can I say.
Thank you.
Going up, soaring up as a nightingale. That's thank you for being there. Thank you. You hold a very crucial profession at this time in our human history. So thank you so much for that.
Heroes, as they
Thank
say.
you.
Pardon me, Mia?
Our newest heroes.
The newest heroes. Yes. And the oblation behind you, Lisa. Let me just talk a bit about that. The
Sure.
oblation. Yeah, for those of us who are not from, our listeners who are not from UP, the oblation is a symbol of freedom and openness. And other people have interpreted the looking up as looking up into divine intelligence or the unknown, the sky, the up, nowhere to go but up, but looking up as well. And it symbolizes so much there. It talks so much about that, the open arms and the nakedness there. How do you, I didn't ask you this earlier, Lisa, how does being a UP graduate impact your profession, your life now?
Definitely, what's ingrained in my head and in my heart is the service to the people, giving back to my community. And it's just a little bit sad for me that I'm not back home serving my kababayans. But here, I've found a home here in Las Vegas to serve my people and the rest of the community, not just Filipinos, but also through our organization, the Philippine Nurses Association, I'm also serving my fellow Filipino nurses. So if I have to brag a little bit, PNA
Yes,
and
brag a lot.
PNA and V is very proud that we have been in the forefront of impacting our healthcare. Okay, so let me start with our face masks and face shields project. We called it Mask On, Shields Up, Protecting Nevada Together. So during the height of the pandemic, when we had PPE shortage, we actually, were there providing PPEs to various hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, group homes, home health, hospice, and even church groups. We even went to Chinatown to distribute to the lay people that, we had cars going through the parking lot and we were distributing those. And then, of course, we volunteered at the UNLV and ACDC, giving vaccinations, in their vaccination clinics. So that in itself, is very important for our times. And then in line with that, we had the Give to Nurses campaign where we partnered with a local organization, local business, that we gave massages, $140,000 worth of massages to frontline healthcare workers, the nurses that really
Awesome.
deserve the treat after those 16, 12 long hours, Mia. So, and then we also had the gifts of sharing that during the holidays, we partnered with Chefs for Vegas and a church group, Christ the King Church, where we distributed meals, holiday meals to the COVID afflicted families. I mean, even currently right now, we have a prayer group for PNA and V because of this COVID, that we found strength in praying together, to help us get through these times. And we've been praying for these individuals. Sometimes we don't even know them. We just are given a name and we pray for them. So, and then, of course, earlier I mentioned to you changing that mindset and then having that change of feelings, which affect the behavior. Actually, we've just launched the Mind Body Strong program, which is a cognitive behavioral 7-week course. And it really helps the nurses rechannel or restructure their way of thinking because it's so stressful. So we want to arm them with something that they can use not only for work, but also for their own personal lives. And then, of course, last but not the least, we have also the mentorship program that we'll be launching this year to help the novice nurses. And then we're going to be there in the front lines for advocating healthcare policy changes. So,
Oh my goodness.
Vote for Liz Gamboa.
Yes. Mabuhay. Mia, perfect title. Soaring.
Sorry.
Moving up and bringing everyone with me as I go up. I'm not going up there all by myself. And it's lonely up there all by yourself.
so
Might as well bring everyone.
I'm
right?
really very thankful, Dot and Mia, to the PNA and the board of directors, as well as our members who have been out there volunteering and really making sure that our organization is there to help our community.
Mm-hmm. What you said earlier that you're just sad that you couldn't go back home to serve the kababayans, but your home is here as well. So it's like you're just expanding your home, or you have so many other homes, you have a home in the Philippines, you have a home in the US, and so where your heart is, that's where your home as well, and where your treasure is, or where your heart is, that's where your treasure is. So it's not at all a limited kind of service, Lisa, and to all the other nurses listening to us, wanting to go back home to serve. It's more of an expansion. It's not a limitation in terms of geography, but it's literally an expansion of your geographical, not a limitation, but an expansion of a pushing out of those barriers, pushing away of the barriers and including everyone in what you now call your home, and you're serving this home.
If I may add, though, I have to plug another organization that I belong to, which is UPNAI, the UP Nursing Alumni Association International. And that is also my way of giving back to the Philippines. We do have projects that we have supported the typhoon victims, and we also have sent relief or donation to the PGH Medical Foundation, and then also helping out the nursing students out there at the UP College of Nursing through their grants for Wi-Fi, because everything is now online. So that's also another way. It's not impossible. There are ways to still help.
Exactly. I understand you just finished your reunion with Mini Castillo.
Yes, actually, we're Pearl Jubilarians. 30 years.
30 years.
So are you joining? Are you registering for the virtual reunion?
Actually, that is the plan. I just haven't gone to, push those buttons yet.
Yes. All righty. So hopefully the UPNAI can be there, and if you have a lot of UP nurses here in the Valley, they're most welcome to join UPA and UP Alumni Association of Nevada. Okay. So even though, to our dear listeners and viewers, even though this sounds like a UP reunion among the three of us, in reality, we're including you we are inclusive. We're not exclusive. The school may be exclusive to those who pass the college admission test, but the fellowship we have and the community we have is inclusive. We don't turn people away. So what we receive from the bayan, from being the Escolar ng Bayan, we're giving back to the bayan. That's That's what Lisa here is talking about, giving back to the community, because we are scholars of the Philippines. Yeah. Alrighty. So we are ending our our 1 hour show, and let's give Lisa her last words. Opportunity for her final words.
If you would notice, I changed my background to our PNANV logo, where it says, our motto is strength, resilience, and resolve through unity. So together we can make a difference when we're all united, even at the height of this pandemic. So I urge everyone to please get vaccinated and continue wearing your masks when you're out in public. So then you take care of yourselves and you take care of others.
So perfect. Yeah.
Now I have a question for Miss Liz before I give my final words. Does the hat, what do you call the white, the old,
Our nursing cap.
the nursing cap, does that mean anything, or does that symbolize anything?
Well, from what I know is that was the hat that Florence Nightingale has used during that time. And for us as nurses way back, it really was very symbolic. When you have that nursing cap on, that I believe that was during our second year, that you were equipped with the skills and the knowledge to be able to actually touch the patient and take care of them, because first year was all general education. We had bed making and all that. But once you have the cap, you can actually handle your patients and take care of them. That to me was my remembrance of the hat. But unfortunately, they had to get rid of it because it was always getting tangled with the IV tubings, and then of course with the cultures that they've discovered that it can attract all these microbes during care. So that's why they did away with it.
Do they still use the white uniform or not anymore?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Do they still use, do you still use, or any of the states use the white uniform?
Well, a lot here in the States, actually, they've done away with the white uniform. But I know in the Philippines, we used to have the candy stripes, blue and white, and then the white apron. And then in the hospitals, we still wear whites as nurses. So, but now I think it's a matter of choice if you want to stay with whites or you go with the regular scrubs.
All right.
Very great questions, Mia. Very nice questions. Nice.
Very curious questions. I wanted to be a nurse, I told you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of the uniform. No, I'm kidding.
I see. All right.
One with a word from Rousey Williams: to do what nobody else will do, a way that nobody else can do, in spite of all we go through, is to be a nurse.
Oh, wow. Yay. Thank you, Mia. That's very powerful. Very powerful. So thank you, everyone, for another wonderful Wednesday. Well, it's wonderful for me. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. Thank you, Mia. It's wonderful for me to be of service. And see you next week.
Thank you to all the nurses. Thank you,
everybody. Bye.
Heading to Las Vegas? Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate? From City View Lofts, high rises, lakefront villas, mountain view homes, and all types of residential properties Vegas has to offer. Follow Mia to the road of your dreams to home ownership. Call 702-281-9063 or visit www.benjaminamiacasino.com. Mia is also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With Mia Casino, you can be sure you get real estate with integrity.